Hello everyone, happy 2023. I hope you're doing well, and yeah, I'm making a video right now, which is a bit unusual for me, I would say, especially showing my face. Um, but yeah, it's the end of the year, so I wanted to take some time to reflect, look back at some of the big things that made an impact on me in 2022, but also look at some of the things that I might want to achieve in 2023. But before we get started with it, I just want to first say thank you so much for supporting me, whether it's here on Patreon or any other means. It does truly mean a lot to me, and I can't tell you how much it means and how thankful I am for that. So first, I wanted to thank you so much for that. So thank you so much for the support. So yeah, for the reflection of 2022, I think it's good to get into it. I do have like a notepad thingy in front of me just to make sure that I don't forget anything, but I don't really have a script, and I'm just talking from the heart, so it's a bit awkward, and if I'm trying to remember some things sometimes, yeah, that's the reason. So yeah, just so you know that. Okay, so yeah, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of 2022 is TwitchCon for me, actually. For those that don't know, it's been a dream of mine ever since I got started with art to attend a convention and have an artist booth, actually. Because I remember like when I just got started with art and I went to a convention and I saw the artist alley with so many artists, and them selling their art, signing it, meeting people. Yeah, that just looked amazing to me, and I made it my goal and dream to one day, have such an experience as well, to have a booth and meet people and sell my art. But at that point, I was just starting out. So I first needed to get to a point where I could even make good enough art to, to sell or create merch. So many years later, I finally managed to make it come true this year, or previous year actually, 2022. And I made it come true at one of the biggest conventions even, which was TwitchCon Amsterdam. I was lucky even that TwitchCon was held in the Netherlands, because that's something that almost never happens even. It's one of the biggest conventions ever, so to be able to have that opportunity and to be accepted was definitely a big highlight for me. Yeah, even I just remember how much preparation work it was to design a lot of merch and order it and prepare, because almost everything was handmade, like stickers and the packaging for keychains and art prints. So it was so much work to prepare all of that and plan things out as well. How do I get everything there and how do I even get there? So it was so much work. And normally you as an artist, when you go to convention, you do hope to at least make a little profit or cut even. But that definitely was not the case for me. And that's because I didn't know what to expect, I guess, from a convention. I've never attended one before, as an artist myself at least, and have a booth. So I think I invested too much into it, and because of that I made a loss. But even if I didn't, make any profits, the most important thing and the thing that really made an impact with me myself is basically meeting the people there. I met people there. I talked to people. I met friends that I've had online for years, and then meeting them for the first time online was so special. And also, making new connections and new friends. Like even now, after the convention, I still have people that I met there and became friends with, and we're still talking, and I still see them. So that part has been priceless to me, and I treasure it deeply. So even that makes it 100% worth it, and I would do it again in a heartbeat, honestly. So yeah, that was such a big highlight, and something else that really made an impression on me there, and it also leads me to the next point. Is it was also the first time where I shared myself, or showed myself, I guess, because previously I never showed the face behind art. It was always just my art, but people never knew the person behind art. And that's also because I was very insecure about myself, and well, still am here. But yeah, I mean, I'm there physically, so you can't really hide, you know, and I'm not gonna wear a mask. So it was also the first time that I showed myself. And obviously I was super nervous about that. But yeah, after I started talking to people, it really made me feel accepted and, you know, appreciated, I guess. So it was a good experience. But besides that, just showing myself for the first time, something else there that made an impression is the people that walked around there, because I had my booth and I saw so many people walk around, and sometimes they, you know, would even go to my booth and have a talk with me. And you know, something that I noticed was that the amount of people, and it was super diverse, you know, you had so many different kinds of people. And it kind of surprised me, I guess. And there were so many people that you know, they were just able to be themselves and be appreciated for who they are, and you know, be accepted and just have a good time. And yeah, I remember seeing that and really being inspired by that, and I think that did me good, to say the least. And that also leads me to the next point, because I do really think that made a big impact on me. Is that in this year, 2022, I also came out as a femboy, as some people might not know or do know. I think most people here know, which was honestly, one of the most scary things that I've ever done. You know, it's difficult to figure yourself out and to learn to accept yourself, and also learn to love yourself. So just that alone is difficult, but also, you know, once you've kind of figured yourself out, it's also difficult to share it with everyone. So it took me maybe a year, or maybe, you know, months to build up the courage to share it with everyone. And I remember like how scared I was once I finally did it. You know, I prepared this whole big ass message and I also shared pictures for the first time ever. Like, no, I showed my face at TwitchCon, but I've never shown it online anywhere. And it was also the first time that I did that. So I came out, and I remember how nervous I was when I shared that message. You know, when I pressed enter and shared it with everyone, you know, friends and online. And I was shaking. I was so scared. And yeah, after I pressed enter and shared it, I just went offline for a couple of hours, because I was too afraid, I guess, to see people's reactions. And yeah, I was just shaking and such. But yeah, after a couple of hours, I did go back online, and I was only met with support and kindness, and that meant a lot to me. You know, in the end, I didn't need to be that scared, but that's obviously only something you can say after the fact. But yeah, I did not expect that, I guess. I was so scared and shaking, and there's so many thoughts going through your head. But in the end, it was only a positive experience, and I'm glad that I decided to do it, because now I can be more open about myself and be myself, and yeah, that means a lot. So thank you all so much for accepting who I am. And yeah, just means a lot. Thank you. So yeah, that was a big thing for me. And honestly, one of the scariest things that I've ever had to do in my life. It was well worth it, and I'm now glad that I decided to do it. So yeah. Yeah, besides that, I think I also just worked really hard on my arts and to progress that part of my career, because as we all know, or I hope people know, art is really my passion and the thing that I want to make my future. You know, it's my dream to want to just make a small living of art and just to be able to do what I love the most. And yeah, I definitely did my best this year and tried to make progress, improve, and you know, work. But I think one of the highlights there is also deciding to make or open Pararu commissions this year during Christmas, December, and such. Because previously I made Pararu commissions already for friends and loved ones as a way to show them that that I'm thankful and that I appreciate them. But yeah, life is always been a bit tough when it comes to art, because I've been trying for years now and I've never been able to make ends meet. So I've never been able to earn enough to cover the basic costs, like rent and such. And over time, that's definitely gonna have an impact on your mental health being. So this year I decided for the first time to open Pararu commissions, and I'm glad that I did, because it was the first time ever in, I think, 4 years, if it's not more, that I was able to make enough of an income to at least cover the basic costs, like my rent and also the groceries and such. It's still below minimum wage, far below it, but for me that is such a big achievement for me to achieve. It kind of shows that it is possible one day to earn that, and that definitely helped a lot. And I'm so glad I decided to do that, because normally I'm not able to accept that many commissions and finish that many artworks. Pararu is definitely something different than the usual work that I can do. So it was a good opportunity to take, and it definitely helped a lot, I would say. And I know that now that that's over, I'm not, my income's gonna drop dramatically like it already has, because it was like a special occasion. But I'm glad that I took that opportunity at least, and now I will just keep trying, and one day make enough to make a small living. But having that moment at least of having a taste of how it could be one day has definitely helped me a lot. So yeah, that meant a lot. So yeah, but obviously other things that happened this year is, income is definitely a big thing. It's because I want to do this for a living, right? And if you want to do something for a living, you've got to one day make enough to make at least or cover your basic costs. And it's been so difficult for me to do so with art, more difficult than I could ever imagine. So yeah, obviously that can be very tough on the mind sometimes, and I've definitely had very hard moments where I just close myself off and just be alone for a good while, or make an art piece to express myself, which I also did this year. But I think whether you're following your dream and want to achieve something, it's never gonna be easy. There's gonna be so many difficult and tough moments. That doesn't mean it's not worth following, and pursuing. And I've had so many tough times over the years, but still I am still following this dream of mine. I still have this passion and dream and hope that one day I'll make it. And I don't think that will ever change, honestly. So yeah, you can be assured that I will keep doing my best and create more art and improve, and one day make it. But having some people support me and cheer for me, I wouldn't be able to do it without you. So thank you so much for doing that, for supporting me, for cheering for me, and giving me some kind of stability here and there a little bit. So thank you. So I think that's our kind of the noteworthy things in 2022. So if we go to 2023, I think it's good to look at some of the things that I want to achieve. And I think one of the first things that I want to do in 2023, and I'm already making a start with that because I'm recording myself here, which is something I would never do normally, is to learn to be more open, to show people, the me, I guess. Because it's difficult, and I think a lot of people struggle with learning to accept themselves. There's always something you want to change, or things you would like to be different. It's difficult, and I think a lot of people struggle with that, including me. And I did make some good steps towards that, I guess. To learn to be open, to share who I am, and I think I just want to continue that path. To learn to be more open, and yeah, that's why I'm doing this. So I'm gonna, yeah, try and keep that going, you know. And besides that, I just wanna, you know, continue with my art career. I wanna, you know, get better, get faster, and I think that's the biggest goal or biggest thing that I should focus on this year is my speed. Because if you're doing art for a living, yeah, you gotta do a lot of commissions or find ways to earn a living. And the biggest struggle for me has always been speed, you know, like the amount of time that I put into an art piece, and and if you compare that to what I earned from it, it's really low, you know. Like if I keep this up with this speed, it's really difficult to make a living one day. So I think it's good to keep that going. And one thing that I already started doing in 2022, and I want to continue doing now, is I stopped doing line art, for example, you know, because I know that's a very time-consuming part, and it's also, you know, it gets me into the mindset of being, it has to be perfect, right? Line art has to be clean, every line has to be perfect, you know, it has to look very clean and good. So forcing myself to not even do that, just make a sketch and start coloring and such, and it doesn't matter if lines are not perfect, if there's messy a little bit, you know. I think that has really helped me to get out of that mindset, to focus more on just finishing an art piece, you know. It doesn't have to be clean or perfect in order for it to make an impact or to make something beautiful. But it's so difficult to get out of that mindset sometimes. So I forced myself to not do that anymore for a while, at least, to see how that goes. And I think it's going a lot better now because of it. And I've been enjoying art a lot more as well because of that, because it's a lot less taxing, I guess, you know. If you spend so many hours on one piece, it's difficult sometimes, you know, because with art and with many other things, you have a lot of highs and lows. And the high is obviously when you finish a piece, and you know, you can share it with the world, or you can share it with your commissioner, the one you made it for, and see their reaction. That is the best feeling, you know. That's why you do it, because you're expressing yourself, you're putting your heart into something, and to see it's appreciated, or you know, you can, or if you see that it makes someone happy, that is the best feeling ever, and that's why I do it. But yeah, obviously, if it's such a lengthy process and it takes so much time, and if you compare that to the earnings, that's difficult sometimes, you know. It's taxing. So being able to produce art faster and make it more fun for myself as well, I think that's a path that I continue to follow, and I will work on that. I will experiment more this year. I will also keep practicing, and hopefully I will just really increase my pace at which I can create art. So hopefully that means more artworks, more commissions as well. So yeah, that's just a big focus, because I would just want to continue to get better, because I want to one day, you know, stand next to those amazing artists I look up to. Because I feel like I'm far from it yet. I want to, you know, inspire people maybe, and the most important thing for me is just to make people happy with the art that I create, you know, with commissions or other ways. That is really important to me, for me to show that I'm really passionate about this, and that this is really the thing that I want to do. So yeah, I want to continue that, and I think those are the biggest goals. So I think it's just self-love, self-care, being more open, and focusing on my art career. But one of the biggest concerns this year is income, because I've always struggled with income. I've never been able to make enough, right? Like I've said before. And this year it's gonna be even more difficult, because prices are increasing. It's getting more expensive, like electricity and gas. So, and currently I've been using a lot of my loan that I've got during my education. I've been always very careful with my spendings, but yeah, you know, you can't do that forever. So that is a very big concern for me, and yeah, just that's gonna be difficult, and it's a bit painful and scary to think that yeah, I might need to find other ways to earn besides art, you know, because otherwise I won't be able to sustain myself, and that's difficult, of course. But if that has to happen, then it will happen. I will do that. I will find something to earn on the side as well. But no matter what happens, I will keep pursuing this dream of mine and keep doing my best, and one day I'll make it with my art. So it's scary sometimes, the future, but you gotta face it anyway. But it's it's difficult, but still I can say without any doubt that I will continue following this dream and passion of mine. So you can be assured of that. Yeah, I think that's it. I wanted to keep this short, but it's been pretty lengthy actually. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just talking from the heart. Yeah, and what came to mind. So it's not too structured, this video, and I'm not used to it, like I said. So, but yeah, I just wanted to make it personal because art is very personal to me, and you're supporting me. So, you know, I felt like you at least deserved that. So yeah, thank you so much for supporting me once again. I can't tell you how much it means to me. And cheers to 2023. I hope you'll have a lovely year as well. And let's both do our best. All right? All right, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.